then that is not your friend.
No, you're quick to put a block.
Yeah, that's
That's because for friendship, I expect you to just be there.
So let me
just say things without feeling
then
like
the
I'm being
expectation now
judged.
is the
That is where brings that we started this thing where we say this person is a safe space. You know that is why it's getting heated up.
Thank you.
Because they are getting to them. Now the level where we are supposed to call somebody your friend.
Yes.
It's somebody who you don't fear sharing something you won't even share with. That's why I tell you, there are some things I share with my friend I don't tell my mother. And so this is another level. Wachana na hizi zingine.
Ama tuje Fred ajiongelee.
So this is now we are getting, that is why it is getting heated. And so that is, we are getting to a level where that is the person you consider the friend. So I told you this is a connection
So as for you,
that
is
you
friendship
have.
black and white?
Yeah, that's the point.
So I'm asking you, for you, is friendship a black and white thing?
Friend,
So it's either I understand everything about you, or I don't.
No, you don't need to understand everything about me.
Then that's
But
pretty
I-
much the flexibility in
You don't
dynamics.
you don't need to you don't need to understand everything about me, Nani, Eugene. You don't need to understand everything about me. But I am able to safely express myself, even what I cannot express, I don't understand. I am able to express myself because I know I can be vulnerable.
But
my question.
Let me Kenam. One thing, even the people commit suicide, they might have the best of friends, people who've been through with them through each and everything. But in that moment, they could not tell their friend. And that's how they went.
But
Let me ask a question
suicide,
before you-
it's not a one moment thing.
Yeah,
That's
so
what I'm saying.
that's-
I get it. So remember,
and-
through all this process, their best friends have always been with them, but they did not
Then
pick
they
up
have
any
anything.
signs.
Let me tell you something.
You don't know.
Because
Human beings are complex. You
Although-
can't understand
yeah.
people
If I'm your
100%.
friend, if I'm your friend, it doesn't mean we agree with everything.
Or we even understand each other.
Yes, there are things you will
Disagree.
believe in, there are things I will not believe in that you believe in. But I will just explain it to you.
Yes.
Sasa iko tu wewe tu kwa hapo kulisten.
Yes.
And then you're my friend. Let me
Yes.
just listen.
Let me give a typical example.
So-
all you two are friends, you know? And I'm friends to somebody, we are friends to somebody. Friends, as much as we are social beings, we are also individuals. So my question is,
And very complex.
and very complex individual. My question is, do your friend know everything about you?
No.
They don't know.
They do not know. Yeah. So there are some things that you rather keep it to yourself. Because let me tell you
You
something.
just know everything
You can't-
about yourself. Even the moon is
Let me-
not falling.
Even
Yeah.
yourself.
Let me end my point. Let me end my point. Because we are social beings and we are also individual and also complex, we do not know everything about me. I do not
Even
know anything
ourselves.
about even ourselves.
Yes.
So when I go through some things that are not within our interest, because you said friendship also have some level of
Yes.
shared interest.
Yes.
So sometimes I might be going through some things that I will not feel safe letting you know about.
But you feel safe in other areas.
Yeah, but I feel safe in other areas.
So that means-
so that it's not a black and white thing.
So
the
no,
way she
let
was
me
saying.
cut you, please. That means there's a level you have not reached.
Yeah. But it's
So,
still friendship.
But it's still
But
friendship.
it's still
So then,
friendship.
for me, friendship is not black and
It's
white.
not black and white.
Is that what we are trying to find out?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
For me, no.
That's true.
Okay, convince us.
I yield.
So, are you a breadcrumb?
But I say, I beg to say this.
Yes.
This is a connection between two people who are not born together, who did not maybe grow up together, who maybe do not know each other. Where is the point of connection? The point of connection, it is what makes you become more this friend that sticks closer than a brother. And that is not physical, my friends.
Yeah.
And so that means friendship is more intimate. It is more intimate. It is a relationship with somebody. So a relationship is when it grows to a level. So there's a level that it reaches that now you are safe
Yeah.
to discuss anything that you want to discuss.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
That's
that's the
safety.
thing.
So
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Safety, you can't use safety as a blanket statement because I might be safe to talk to you about so many things except one thing. Does that mean I'm not your friend?
Yeah, so
No,
this is the same
you're
way
not
you say.
genuine.
I think
No,
you're
I have been
genuine.
genuine 100%.
then why don't you tell you are not 100%?
You're not 100%.
Let me tell you something.
That's one thing.
You
You are 100%. Why this one?
No.
Friendships are not 100%.
We just like human beings, they're
Friendships
complex.
are not
I say the same.
100%.
I don't even understand about myself.
That means you have understood something, but you don't want to share it.
Understand my
So my
point.
question
No,
is,
Linda.
are you 100%
There's no.
You are not
You are not.
understanding
You are not.
that.
You are
Yeah.
not 100%.
Yes, so
But you're your friends.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so friendship does not have to be 100%.
for it to be called
For it to be called friendship.
What I'm
When we
saying-
are growing, just like she
Okay, that is
said,
true.
we are
That is
growing
very-
in this friendship.
exactly, that
So
is-
with every phase, I get to be more vulnerable with you.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's
also there's still something. I have
Let
to say.
me finish. That is true again.
yeah.
Yes.
That is true. I agree.
Yeah, okay. Give me that.
Just to add, I think maybe to inquire because we talked of time earlier, and based on what Kena is saying, I wanted to ask, but Amesema, when these two people meet, there's something you are forming because from my interaction that you get,
Yeah, sure.
and this. Well, they call it interest. Now people have different names. I think even I'm confused what are we even forming in the first place.
Interest.
Some
We
people
are
are,
getting into
some people are friends and they don't even know they are
Friends.
friends. So what these people connect them to, they don't know that for others this is what explains their friendships. So when you look at your Mamba time, what has been built.
A period of time.
As I know Eugene each and every day, I get to share different things.
Yeah.
So as we have known this year, from what we share every day, it grows.
Yeah, it grows.
As it grows, now I know Eugene's other friends. Or Bobby Bamtans. And then from there, it expands,
So maybe
this topic of friendship.
Hapo tu penye.
Yes.
It has expanded over the years. Imefika point, the more imekaa, the more things are shared.
Yes.
But inafika point ile kuna kitu siwezi kukwambia bado. Just one thing.
Nini ni hiyo?
So,
This can go on till forever.
Not
Some of us need to travel after this podcast. It can take till forever.
Sawa.
Yeah, I'm going back to UK. So let's I think where we all agree.
before you cut me.
Na unikate.
Yeah, normally, kabla nikate, yes. No, I'm a Swahili teacher, so I think I can translate it. Now, first I nimesahau, it was a very, I was trying to
You'll get into it when you remember it.
It will never come back.
So it has gone.
No, it has not gone. I was trying to say that as you keep on relating, e-growth inafanyika.
Yes.
And as you keep on growing, remember in your everyday environment, you experience different things, and these things build your character here. And so, as you'll be going on, there's something that I think he's trying to express Apple, that you might discover even about yourself.
Yeah.
That you are never, this relationship by day became level, that thought process, you don't trust, I think.
Yes.
Inaingia sasa penye sasa unasema you don't trust hii relationship inaweza manage this truth that you want to share out.
Thank you.
Yeah, so
There's nothing in this world that is too hard for
Linda.
somebody. Like, and you never say, well,
So let me
No,
summarize.
Linda. The world is not black and white.
Yeah. So let me summarize this statement where we all agree. Yeah. So we all agree that humans are complex beings.
Yes.
We do not know everything about ourselves
Yes.
because we keep on growing.
Yes.
And in the book of Eugene chapter 5 verse 1, sorry,
Yes.
it says that when time remains constant, when you keep on growing, then you can definitely change your course.
Yes.
Actually,
So-
change is constant.
Change is constant.
Yes.
10 years from now, I'll be holding different values.
Yeah.
Sindio? So we get to learn about ourselves. So it is safe to say I do not know everything about myself. It is safe to say I have friends who do not know everything about myself.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
But may I ask you something? Sorry.
Mm.
So, since we've established that things remain other things that should make constant, yes, but change is constant. So let's say you have this friendship that for you can withstand anything. So let's say at a certain
I just remember a question from what you're talking about.
so let's say you have this friendship that you have the confidence that can withstand the test of time. Then later, your values change, who you are changes. Are there changes that you might feel like might not fit into this friendship that you think can withstand anything?
That brings us to what we agreed on earlier.
Yes.
That there are friends who can stand time. We have, imagine, they are seasonal friends. They're with me through this season of my life where I hold these certain values. This is me for now. But when time is constant, then we outgrow each other.
Yes.
Then it's not a must. It's not a bad thing to outgrow friends because it's not a bad thing to have friends for seasons.
It's true.
Yeah. So, but there are some friends who go till the end. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Those are the type of friends I want.
Yeah. But what we should not
The thing is,
demonize
don't
is
focus
friends for
on
a season. Yeah. Friends for a season. Let's just, even if I'm this season with you guys.
If I come to your life and I want to, you just know that I want to be with you for this season, how will you tell me?
No.
That's basically, you don't have to know that you this is
That's
So
why
you
you're
don't come into somebody's
May I say
life
something?
just to be there for a season.
Yeah.
Kenan, do you believe in destiny?
Basically, let me give an example. Not you guys. Let me give an example.
No, check. Let me give an
example.
example. For example, do you guys believe in destiny connection? No, I'm asking because I personally believe that there's
There are people destined.
No, that people God brings into your life for a specific season.
Very nice.
And then when that season is done,
Do you know that
that's the
this
thing.
person is?
That's the thing. You don't
know.
So,
That's the
so
thing.
that's why you cannot box this friend because probably unacheki penye umetoka naye you believe they're forever. Pengine time yake inafika after 10 years. Alafu
Yeah. So basically, we all agree with that. And I also have friends that I know.
Add this. I think there's a time
I'm
we
guessing
were with each other.
the pressure is
Yeah, we were with each
From both
other.
yourself
And
and
we went back then, whereby we realized hiyo chenye nasema friends for seasons.
If you want to hire a friend, I'm a
yes, then
So-
you get friends for her.
I think we concluded after that it is okay to let them go. I think letting them go
Yeah.
is the
Yes.
problem.
There's a problem.
Yeah.
Now I'm coming back to where you were. The question that now
It
popped
came
up
back.
again.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
do you share what your friends cannot have? What you know your friends cannot have?
I will not share.
Now, yet you know the truth.
Freddy's happy.
I have a question.
But how do you know they cannot handle?
Now,
Because you're my friend and I know you.
I have a question.
Maybe.
No.
I know you some certain level.
Sorry, sir. You see, like right now, on this table, as we are speaking,
Yeah.
if everything for you is black and white, I know that there are those things. If I share with you, hapo nitaishia.
How do you know? Because
No, look
I
at
can,
because
I
of
can
the
discuss
values
right
you
now.
hold.
I can discuss
Ask
right
for
now,
a
but you
question.
share something and then I'll be considerate enough.
I want to ask a question.
That is the.
Where do you guys put God? Is God your friend? I didn't see anybody asking him.
No, I
No, we're
told
still moving.
No, wait. Because there is only one person that qualifies for all these things that we are arguing
Yes.
about.
Now we were going to that one.
even before we started, I said one thing,
Yeah.
and none of you pointed at it. I said something. You can't expect all your friends to be everything to you. You know that.
You have
It's
friends
only
for this,
God.
friends for
It's
this.
only God who can be your friend for anything.
Yeah.
But your friends, imagine if you expect them to be your source of happiness, to be your best friend to everything, to be your comfort. Like, can she hang out with as boys with you?
No.
Because she's also a machine.
You get. She also need V time
Yes.
away from you.
And then it's time.
So that's what I'm trying to say. So you can't box and just leave.
Yeah. So we are
So
all in an
when we are
agreement
in a
to go to the
friendship,
next level.
you just know these people might be there to stay or might not be there.
But you don't go through life thinking that way because you don't know. If God brought them your way, probably God intended them to be there for 5 years, full stop. And probably, to say, God wanted them in your life so that probably your faith gets better. Or, Pastor Timon said that.
He
said that
he dated some people, not because he dated some people, just so that they can grow in faith. He did not know that, but later after many times he's broken up with so many people. He says that when he looks back, he was there for a specific purpose, and for them to grow in faith. So everybody has dated, grew in faith.
So there are people in your life who are there for that purpose.
Yeah.
And it might not even just be faith.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
No, you
Linda
can't.
is not satisfied. You know,
Linda is not satisfied.
So,
No.
I think
Linda, tell us your point so that we go.
No,
Linda shared
it was him first.
shared something before we. Kuna siku nyingine ulibank nikasema I don't know the story. But I was going. What was it? The last sentence.
That she said that right now she cannot share anything with me because she knows that I'm black.
No. It was an example.
Then I said
It was
that
an example.
she can share something and then I might change my mind and be considerate about it.
Yeah, I think you consider it. It depends now. It is not when you're sharing. Are you going to share the whole conversation, or can you highlight that I'm having trouble in this and this? And your friend is aware, and so I'm going, because not all friends are experts. There are some things that, after within Munga Mepatiana, Google says it.
Sometimes you don't need an expert, you just need an outlet.
Now that is just part of it, that you find that if you seek help, that is a direction that you're going to find yourself taking to. But now, if you never shared it with somebody, you are just the outward part of it, because you may not even go into details, but atasema, I'm not even aware you are going through this and this. And ndio nilikuwa nafikia kwa part ya in talking about not friends, not treating them like professionals in a certain field, but just letting them know that maybe you're going through this and this. After Nimtu, I said you're growing, so you get to know also the strengths and weaknesses. Umejua kuna weakness in this particular field yenye ukianza hii maneno ni kama umejua tu rafiki wa hesabu na wewe una shida na hesabu. Huwezi enda na yeye na so but tutamwambia bana mazee umejua ile mtani teo ilitoka na nilipata hii. So kuna venye madhe naona ile option alipatia naenda sasa kuenda tu kwanza kwenda tuition. So history hiyo day imeisha hivyo. So but now your friend pia mwenye atafuta Kozie pia mmejua okay yenyewe tutakusaidia. Mimi pia nilipata ni yani there are some situations but kama hakuna ile capability me I normally do this and this. That is where now you can now channel in into that direction. But at least you've given an option for you kusema si uje tuanze fanya.
Okay, let me
just
one thing.
then we move on.
It's just to Linda. So let me give her a practical example. No, I'd like to give a practical example so she knows where I'm coming from. So let's say, first of all, what's your belief? Do you believe in polygamy or monogamy? Monogamy. So let's say I know for a fact you believe in monogamy. We are still friends, we're very good friends, we pray together, we support each other, like we share each and everything. But then, all of a sudden, a man who's after me is a polygamous man. I'm interested, yes, and I want to be a second wife. I'm okay with it and I still pray, we still share values. And now if I know your hard stance about polygamy,
You stop being
Let him
No,
finish.
you're not understanding me.
Let her
So,
finish.
in me, according to me, from the way you speak, from the way you carry out conversations, if I think that this is not something you'll agree with, do you think I'll share it with you?
It is not a point
It's-
of agreement.
Exactly.
It is a
not
point
it-
of safe. Are you safe to say it to her?
Yes,
That is the
because,
first point.
because whatever I'm saying, it is my belief. I'm saying I will not be a second wife. That is me. I'm not pushing that fact to another person.
Yeah.
That is my belief. So when I tell this other person that it is so it is what I believe and it is what I want.
No, can you tell this?
So that it is what I want. So mostly when I push a point, it is my point. I don't want it to like push it in your brain at way.
No,
because you also have your own thinking,
Yeah.
and if you share it, I'll be like, it is yours.
Yeah.
Maybe my line it is monogamy.
Yeah, and it ends there. Let's move on to the
Okay,
next.
thank you.
I know, I just get that clear. Now that's clarification.
Yeah,
that's good.
Okay, no, wait, sorry. No, one thing. So for you, just from the description, so friendship is not black and white.
No, they don't ask
Why?
it like
Because-
that. If you ask it like that,
Because
you
you'll
go
be
back.
free enough to say what you want.
Yeah, but it's not that we all agree.
Yeah.
So let's move on. Let's move on.
Or you're the one who know white.
Or you are the one having white and black.
It's not black and white, it's white and blue. So let's continue.
Right, okay.
So, just to lower the heat in this conversation.
Oh, the heat has gone.
Yes,
No.
no. If we
This,
My friend, the dates and the horns.
Sorry. You will edit this
Is
part.
that English?
Then ons.
You edit this part.
itakatiwa.
Takata. You finally had the voice of the cameraman.
Yes.
Hiyo ama tuache tu je.
Cameraman to the world.
Tutache je hiyo voice of wasikie. So there's a crazy fact.
Yeah.
It's an historical fact.
Okay.
It's not a scientific fact.
Okay.
Biblical
Historical.
historical fact.
No, it's okay. Humans are made of history, that's fine.
Okay. Biblical, historical, where do we know?
Yeah, exactly.
He's saying
It's an
historical.
historical fact.
Historical, no.
But it's
when you
generally
say
history.
historical,
It's something
just-
humans
something
learn
that
from
just
the
happened.
past. It's true, but
It
it's
doesn't
not
have
from
to
the
be
past
biblical.
or scientific.
Okay.
It's just historical. And it says that historically the most important organs in human body, number one, you know, is heart. Number two, lungs. Number three.
You mean the brain is not important?
The brain.
Na sasa mlunguni
Sasa
number
ndio
three.
nauliza
So
tatu
it is
ni
number
gani?
three.
For me, I thought it should be number one.
Okay.
Okay, so
Brain.
so
For me,
brain
it's
is top
brain.
three.
No, for me it should be brain, heart, then now lungs.
Yeah, and you.
No, brain, lungs, heart.
Oh, we're just using it.
Yeah.
Bone marrow.
The most randomest answer I've ever got. Ati bila. For absorption.
The brain.
Choose the brain.
Me too. But the brain makes sense.
I chose the liver and the kidney.
So crazily, because it's called a crazy historical fact, is that the third is the thigh muscles.
Thigh.
Thigh muscles.
Sure.
Why the thighs?
Why the thigh? Why the thigh muscles for the thigh? Tulisema life is not black and white. The thighs. Because human in history understood that you need strong thighs to walk around and socialize with people.
Very good.
And to them, good friends equal good thighs.
Oh.
Makes sense.
But sasa atoe tu brain tupe na thigh.
Sasa, no, because you can have a brain,
Then it doesn't
if you're not social,
But it means you have brainless friends.
let's try to understand this. We are not removing the brain. It's
the most
important.
important.
The most important. They say that you can have the reason.
No,
but in the past, the reason.
Will you choose the right muscles or someone's brain first?
No, the reason. This is their reason.
Okay.
See,
You should understand.
Human beings.
Okay.
Human in the past reason. Let me explain. Human in the past, they reasoned that you can have a pain. But if you don't have good friends, then you don't have where to vent. And mental health is quite important. So you can have pain and then have to hang up with
That's a
someone.
very good point.
It's good you say historical. If you say biblical, all organs are important.
So no matter to say my story. Then they be like, they're all justified. So to them, strong ties equals good friends, and good friends equals
Makes sense.
healthy life. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
But you can.
Yes, tell me about breadcrumbing.
So
No, he has something to say. Angalia watu Gerald, you love Wadogo.
What is it?
No, actually, it comes from eating it. But that's what point. I was actually trying to drive. I was trying to drive at
The
that
one
part.
is where they make.
But wait, human beings
Exactly,
have
that
one
is where I was
Yeah.
going to.
The life of a thing is in
In the blood. Oh, now we get you.
So let me give an
philosopher.
example.
Okay.
Let me give something that will lead on to the next conversation.
Okay.
So, in 1950, an experiment was conducted by one Bruce Alexander, not the scientist,
Yeah.
and he was speaking about addiction.
Addiction.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he reasoned, he was trying to understand. So he conducted an experiment. He took a rat, put it in a bait, in a cage, and alieka hapo maji mbili, a normal water and another one laced with drugs. And the rat, because he was watching it, Hey Alexandra was watching the rat, and it kept on drinking the water laced with drugs, with morphine, until it died. So it was a cycle until it died. So I understood that, and that's where our concept of addiction came. That if you drink something, then you get addicted to it, and then you continue, then you die. So it was a fact, it was punished. And then later on, a scientist was like,
But wait.
something was wrong with this experiment.
Sorry, that's what I want to ask you first of all about the experiment.
I'm continuing.
So I'm wondering, how can you be addicted and you have two options first of all?
Yeah, so no, it tasted both waters, but it kept on, it got addicted with the one.
The one that was less.
Oh, you did not say that.
You did not say that word.
Sorry,
It's gonna make sense in my brain.
The brain will scatter.
So let me put it clear so that people in Nakalipa can understand.
Thank you, my love.
They are the highly esteemed people.
Thank you, my love.
You must consider wise people when consider them the check on.
Yes.
So
Thank you, my learned friend.
Oh God.
thank you. So it tasted first the water. The normal, it tasted both waters, but it kept on going with the one laced with drugs until it get addicted, and it finally killed it. Killed it. A rat is a it.
That means still okay.
I identify as a. Let us not go there. A scientist in these previous years was like, wait a minute, this setup is false. Like rat is a social beings, the same as me, the same as human beings. So he put on akachukua rats zingine and he put them in a cage. He put up all the wheels, the things, and life was good. And then he put the two others again. So again, the rat tasted both waters. They drank the water laced with drug to a point they got addicted. And then after some point, they stopped. And then they went back drinking this other water. And then they continued living. So the results of this experiment was trying just to prove that somebody dealing with a hard time, depression, anxiety, addiction, has more chances of getting out of it if they're around good friends, because we are social beings. So friends equal to life. The fact. So, so I would to precede that.
Hey, you're talking about like when you're having a hard time.
Yeah.
It's good to have people around.
Yeah, and then thank you very much. It then forms the formula of getting out of addiction by scientists, and it worked. And there are 12 steps in this. They are called them Alcoholic Anonymous. The AA. So they are called Anonymous, and there are 12 steps. And the final step is the most important. You can go through the 11 processes, and if you do not do the 12, then it's not guaranteed you're going to work out of the addiction. The 12th step is working through somebody who's going through addiction. Yeah, so many people, many alcoholics who work with other alcoholics out of addiction, then they have higher chances of recovering from addiction. Yeah, so that was quite amazing, and I thought it would be worth putting it out there, because in this modern day, navigating through modern day friendship is quite hard. When you have good friends, then there are more chances of getting out of the other situation in life. So we all agree that friends are good, and that forms also one point of making good friends. If you want to make a good friend, then look for somebody you can walk with the journey. You have the same interest, and you can. They don't have to be perfect. Maybe you're going through the same thing. And my definition of a friend, because up to today I told you it's a very mysterious term or conversation. It has never been had. So my own definition, Eugene made the definition. You can have your own, and you can all reason around it. A friend is a person who sees me the way I see myself. So when I see them, I see a part of me in them. Yeah. So when I'm cheeky and Alan is cheeky, then we are likely to be friends. But I have a serious side, and can I serious? So it brings me to your point.
So it balances
out. And I love reasoning, and V loves reasoning. Then I'm friend with V. I'm tough.
Imagine it makes a lot of sense.
That's why you can't have
one friend or just two.
Because there are different aspects of you, and they're all your friends. Total scientists tend to prove this. They haven't proven this, but they tend to prove this, that
give them work.
Meaning the people who surround you, the sum total of people who surround you makes you. They all share a version of you.
Yes.
But it's
true, but it doesn't prove it.
It's cause I don't know if it's somewhere in the Bible. Sorry if I'm wrong, correct me please. Show me your friends.
And that
should be something. Show me your friends. But it's because you are the sum total of all your friends. If you have 5 thieves, you'll be the 6th. If you have, it's true. If you have 5 jealous people, you'll be the 6th. If you have 5 rich friends, you'll be the 6th. Because most of the time you get influenced by your friends. So let's say your friends are hardworking, they're spiritual people, they are motivated people. Do you know naturally you gravitate towards those good qualities? It's a natural phenomenon. It's just the way your brain is wired. That's why if you're around thieves, you become a thief. It's very hard to have like one good person. Katikati ya 10 bad people, something must go wrong. Something will always go wrong.
They always say that if you put a rotten tomato in a sack of other tomato,
let me be honest. For me, I won't. If you see me as a cheeky person, and you are also cheeky, you have a cheeky side, so you'll just be associating with me when you feel like you're cheeky. But later when you feel like you're serious, you avoid me because you feel like you want to talk to.
No, he doesn't mean it.
I think that's a selfish way of reasoning. Because
That is how you have said it. Because you feel like When I'm cheeky with Gerald,
No,
that is
no.
my friend because he's
Eugene,
cheeky with
yeah.
me.
There's no I'm saying that
Actually-
you cannot have one friend for everything.
And-
One friend cannot serve your
And it
purpose.
means literally, naturally,
It's
two
just
cheeky
natural.
people will find themselves together. You will not say
Yes.
she's cheeky, I'm cheeky, let's go. You know you will not do that. You'll find yourselves.
You just find yourself,
But
but
maybe
doesn't mean they
they're
are my
not
friends.
friends.
And not just being cheeky together.
Listen.
And also,
Listen, I say there are higher chances of me being a friend with him because we are cheeky. Then I realize that
And
he has
then
a
now,
soft side.
then
Then we
we
get to
see,
learn about each
that's the
other.
thing.
Then we share interests. Then we are friends.
But
Because of the cheekiness.
Because of the interest that we share, not
You're not
interest.
understanding. The
Okay.
chickiness might have brought you together, but
Okay.
with time, now you start discovering other parts of this cheeky person
Okay.
that are actually more beautiful than the chickiness. And also the chickiness doesn't have to be negative. At times, there are the people that light you up when you're down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is true. I'm not saying
So,
cheeky
no, no,
in
no.
the negative
So when
part.
you said
It
it,
can be
no, when you said it, you're making it so cutthroat clear.
Yeah.
That
Probably you're
I'm only
feeling
looking
like
for
I'm
you.
straight, so
No,
you
no,
feel
no.
like it's not
No, I'm not projecting.
negative.
I'm not projecting. Thing is, we might get close because we're cheeky. Like it's a natural thing.
It's
We're
a natural
attracted to
thing.
each other.
Yeah.
But after that, that's when we start talking, we start getting to know each other. Then you're
Yes.
like, you even forget that we are cheeky.
Yeah, because let me tell you something. This is a true story. My life is an example. Listen to this. Now my life makes sense. Listen. My life makes sense, my child. I'm about to share. I will to the world. My life finally makes an example. Mungu ni msose ndio. My life finally gets to make it as an example.
Amen.
Amen. God is good.
Amen.
You've gone into scripture now.
Yeah, he's
Now.
he said he's heading there.
We are heading
I
there.
was also
Head there.
confused.
We are waiting.
Yeah,
Can I
maybe.
just go?
So, my life is an example. And in 2019, went into school. I was a cheeky person from my younger age.
Wow.
Sindio,
Yes.
somebody could not tell if you knew me at first, probably. I've gotten a lot of this. He once told me that I didn't know that.
Yes.
You can make people I thought that
Yeah,
you unanyamazanga too. Yeah, so I was a cheeky person from a very young age, and upper class 6 they tried to my environment ikaizima because it was a bad thing. Oh, you're you cheeky boys.
Yeah.
I stopped being cheeky. I stopped talking much because also I lost a lot of friends when I was a child. And then I became an introvert because I've told you that I'm quite introverted sometimes. And so sometimes when I tend to get cheeky, I'll just tell somebody who's cheeky, yeah, do this, and they do it, and then it will be just that. And then I got into high school, and I met Alan. Alan also is part of this example. So, he was cheeky.
He's too cheeky.
He was cheeky like
You
something
graduated
else.
then.
He's
You
still
graduated
cheeky. He's
then.
still cheeky.
Yeah, but you graduated then.
I still have a cheekiness in me.
Yeah.
Chickiness.
There's that cheekiness in me.
Um,
This is my life story. Get out of my life. So it brought me together with Alan because we were so cheeky, and other friends in high school. We were so cheeky. We would do things and we would laugh, blah blah blah. But as we kind of grow, then we learned different side to Alan, different side to me, and then each time us, we learned that also cheeky pia ananyoga Mungu.
Yes.
We didn't know that, and through him I came to Shauri Moyo because of the social media.
Yeah, actually.
So, yeah, so historia. So it kind of like solidifies my point. I saw cheekiness in him, and I was like, oh, it's a shared interest. Then kind of like, okay, yeah, and then it kind of like goes from there and to what is still now. We're still cheeky, but it up the serious side of him. Now I know when Alan ako hivi, don't try not to talk to him. Watch it. When he's having a bad day, rather let him cool down before the congregation. So you get to learn other sides of people. They get to learn other sides of you, and you become good friends. And this brings us to the next now, the biblical part of where you're saying. I will not tie it to the biblical part. You went to the Bible and research because I believe all of us have a relationship with God, no matter how small it is, how big it is. Yeah, if you're mnasema kile fire spilling something. Or if you're just a cheeky, or if you're just a new believer, man, because you are all, I think one of the foundations that brought us together is church.
Yeah.
And we've learned that we share some certain things, and that's why we're friends. So you share from your own experience as a Christian right now, or just as a person in general. What is your best kept secret in navigating modern day friendship? Because it's not like the traditional way. I think life has quite changed with social media and all that.
Yes.
So what is your best kept secret to navigating modern day friendship? A random person to go first.
Educate yourselves.
Hey.
Right now.
No, he's actually very right.
Yeah, so I was supposed to
Because
go into
you must know what is happening. That I basically got to ego. But I realized that.
So we share. Let me put Benita aside. Just share one point. Then she share. Then it goes round and round and round until we
Now,
finish all our points and then we
I have realized that the world has so much knowledge at our fingertips. If you don't know what a friend is, just go and Google what a friend is, and it will give you the first basics of everything. And you test yourself, do I have this person in my life? Am I qualified for it? Okay, the reason why I started by asking about the issue about friendship is because even now, there's a topic in school where I teach about friendship.
That's nice. And a good subject.
And it's just you go to where what is a friend. Okay, in this friend, you must know their behavior. In this friend, you must know their parents. In this friend, you must know the people, basically the family setup. In this friend, their parents must know you. In this friend, you must also, so it happens both ways.
keep it brief so that it goes
Oh,
on
yeah,
and on.
true. So, if you say keep it brief up now we're starting to do it again. How am I going to present all these things? I think I'll just take into educating yourself what friendship is, because you talked about modern times, modern day friendships, and know what is happening within the society right now. Because probably you find that the same challenges that are there, like for example, you talk about, in our past podcast, we talked about mental, looking at someone, so mental being part of it, spiritual and all that. So this mental awareness, there are just some basic things you need to have so that you can learn how to navigate some of these things. That's what I was saying, that you may not meet a professional, but you may learn, but I'm going through this and this. So, you know, kama siko hapa, I'm through this. You have to know who to confide in. So that's why I step in, educate myself.
For me, I'll go with them.
Let me repeat the question for Alan. Just for Alan. Best kept secret in navigating modern day friendship. Navigating yeah. So navigating basically it's navigate when you add ing. So it's a doing what?
No. Alan, let's say secrets in navigating. How do you handle modern?
Yeah, how do you handle modern day
Yeah, the best way to handle it. You're just
For me, I'll go with you being there. Yeah,
Presence.
Yeah, ministry of presence. In the center. Yeah. See, you have to self-expand.
Can you explain to change your point?
Because I'll say I'll go and maybe read something or maybe Google about it and see how it worked with somebody and think it's supposed to be there. But when I'm with you, I will try to understand and learn and try to also know you better. You know. So when I'm there for my friend, I get to know how to even handle them. So the way I handle Alan is totally different with the way I will handle you too. Because I'm always there for them and talk with them and have conversations with them.
And being there is quite important, because you learn that this is what Simon Sinek once said. He said that if I'm your friend and you denied me, then you denied me the opportunity of sitting with you in the mud, then it will get me so upset.
Yes.
Like you denied me the honor of sitting with you in the mud.
Yeah, because when I'm in a problem, I expect you to call me, and you didn't call me. Why? Because you are my friend.
Yeah, and the most important thing that you said is just being there. It doesn't. A friend does not mean that you have answered to everything. It doesn't mean I can solve your addiction or just sit with, if I'm in the rain and I'm stuck in the mud and you can't pull me, just sit with me in the mud.
Yeah.
Let me just know that I have somebody when I'm crying. And the most amazing example of that is job friends. We all ridicule your job friends are bad, job friends didn't need. I think they are the most important definition of friends we have in the Bible, because the Bible says because Job was going through a grief.
Yeah.
And when somebody is grieving, the pastor once said that they need touch more than they need you to assure them. It depends on the level of grief. And you may feel exam then telling me, oh, itakuwa sawa, that will do. But when I'm going through grief and you're telling me, sometimes I do not even want to hear that. Itakuwa sawa, things will be okay. Just be there. And Job,
you are in a certain type of
Job,
I think we were with you.
And Job quite illustrated this when
just I catch you. There's something I want to add to that what you're saying.
Thank you for even explaining more being present.
Yes.
My
In
point.
past year, Job, I think was it we were with you in that Bible study whereby we were discovering that in the story of Job, family members walianza kutokelezea mwisho kama ameshabarikiwa huko. Yani during this time they were there, they learned that they're existing now after things are gone.
So it still happens in modern day.
yeah.
Yes.
So when my point of grief, Job was grieving it. He don't need somebody to tell him when to be alright. The Bible says when Job's friends saw him at a distance, they started wailing with him because they could not tell him, pull him out of the grief. You cannot actually pull somebody out of the grief. So they wailed with him, and they tore their clothes, they were sacked, and the Bible says they sat with Job on the ground 7 days, said nothing. 7 days just being there. And after 7 days, then they started speaking to Job. And it was so amazing to me to have such friends. When I can't pull you out of grief, then it's better I sit with you in that grief, in that moment. And that's why sometimes I tend to do that with also some of my friends. Just to be there and say nothing. Sometimes I don't have what you need, but just being there and sitting there looking like a stupid person.
Now let me tell you, it's not you not having what they need. You being there is actually what they need. And God uses you in that moment to give them comfort. But you see, when we normally ask God for comfort, even in the difficult times, but at times also God uses people to give you comfort.
What's your best kept secret?
I think yenye wamesema I just feel it. Yeah, there is something ulisikia. I think with them ulisikia tu na TikTok. Jina dada ulisikia kusema kwa TikTok.
Uongo. I just want to put it out there. He's like,
Why you love TikTok? Why you need your friend?
they banned TikTok.
Yes.
Yeah.
So UK, you can stay in US. I joined the UK.
My sister's schooling. My phone is
You just be yourself. You don't yani usikike yenye society inasema. If society says that kuwa na urafiki, sitaki urafiki. Mimi mentality yangu ni kuwa na jirani. So Kenya mimi naona yani be you. Jina nasema be cheeky. I just hate being bored. That is me. Mimi nikiona kama mtu amepanga kutu hivi. Nimeona the first time I met Linda akutu hivi.
anakuanga hivyo.
Then nikamwambia kwani hujakula mandazi? Kuja nikule mandazi. Na akacheka. At least alicheka. I hate you. Yani mtu mwenye wewe. Just be myself. Alafu mimi kwa mimi. yani una spread kwa wasee man.
Yeah.
Unaona? Hiyo ndio kenye I just love. Then avoid toxicity. Hiyo kwa toxic.
Yeah, so you say one, you just go around. Because the man says it's already around two that. The sure point. Just mine is so random, and I love this. He said because if you are not yourself, you'll make false friendship because they'll be attracted to the false you. So you finally reveal yourself, they'll run away. So just be aware. You be yourself, you attract. You have people who are attracted to you. Mine is so random, and you can like touch on that. You can like touch on that. When you say sometimes friends are not even in the family setup, and he said something like that. What if I tell you that the more blood is thicker than water? What if I just put it? Who agrees with me? Blood is thicker than water.
That is obvious.
But that's actually that thing in another part of it.
That's what I'm going
It's not
for.
a full phrase.
It's not a full phrase.
That's why family is not everything.
Here's what it means. It means the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb.
Yeah.
When I make a friendship with you, it's a blood covenant.
Yeah.
It's thicker than the water of the womb. Sometimes you connect more to people. A friend is thicker than the brother.
Yeah.
The brother. So people have misquoted that phrase many
To think
the other
family
time.
members.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not.
Because when I make a blood covenant, this is somebody that I chose, you know.
Is it in the old age that we used to make such friendships?
Yeah.
Yeah. We decide we are friends. We do this.
Pinky, something.
Yes.
We
Then
never
we join
each other.
land. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, so covenant is just an agreement. Yeah, so najikata na then we bind. Yes.
Hapo mnanyonya.
So the blood of the covenant, yeah, I believe that when I make a commitment to be your friend, then probably you'll find that most friends knows things that your family do not know about you. Your family knows the regular you. Kwanza, it made much more sense to me because when you're yourself for such, then you say you've lived your whole life being just an old person, then you decide to live your life to Christ. The family will not even comprehend that because they know the normal you.
So they can't comprehend the changes.
Yeah, you read the Bible, they are just taking it lightly, attached to but you'll
And
find
the
a
first
friend.
person who even support
Yeah.
you in your journey.
And you'll have somebody that is your friend and it kind of like get you more than your family gets you. Yeah, so it does not say the water of the womb is useless. It just says a covenant with another person. It's thicker than the water of the womb. Yeah.
But there are those who have really good friends.
With
Yes.
Their family.
Yes,
You can also make a blood covenant.
That's the thing, we are not refuting it.
Yeah.
You can still be related by the water of the womb, but you
But-
still have to be friends.
You be friends, that's the most important.
Yeah.
What you're trying to say is that the water of the womb is not enough.
Yes.
Because you're connected by God, it's not,
Yes.
it's not a
You
guarantee
have
that
to go extra.
extra.
You have to do
make
extra.
a covenant that you're actually friends
You
with
see,
my mom.
even kids
sister.
and their parents,
Mm.
like the parent has to work extra just because when he's up, I imagine you have to
I
be
think
friends.
that.
Yeah.
You still have to be present as a father.
Yes.
You still have to provide. Like you still have to be my friend. Find out about my life.
Yes.
It's the friendship.
So don't be surprised if you are not friends with your parents.
No, even most people came from families that jioni akisikia gari ya baba yake.
He runs away. They call him that. Somebody once said that it looks like you're living with a lion that comes home at 6. Like,
Yeah.
if you can do 6, then things abruptly
So,
change.
those are the things.
Yani baba yako anaingia na mimi ndo natoka na baba.
Mm.
The social way you're meeting.
I believe when you're in campus, even you can. You remember those times, even in campus, there are those kids you are 100% sure the lives they're living in campus is not the lives they have at home.
Yeah.
And you see, that's such a sad thing because I used to have so much friendship with our mother that says that I know I can let her know, Mom, but you're in and out. We'll talk tomorrow. And you see now, they're my friend. So you see, if I'm able to tell them such things, they know that they know where I am. They know that whatever I'm telling them is the truth, and I trust that they have my back and they always guide me through the right things. And you get. But then you see, if you're not even a friend to your own child, your child will do things that even the whole world, leave alone you, the whole world will be surprised. Huyo si wangu.
much as you could have part.
Yeah. So you see, you being carried by your parents is not enough.
Okay.
For me, mine is niliandika. Be authentic with everyone, but transparent to people you trust. Just ukweli, I wrote so many things.
Mbona sisi hatuna notes?
So we were told that we look for.
It was one we
Yeah,
we
so-
prepared.
So
I'm
just,
better prepared.
Yeah.
so I'm just saying.
By the way, all of us who did research to Buddha and found ourselves in a lesson that she's the teacher now.
And so I'm
Teacher
just
of
saying.
life.
The teacher of life. Very great.
It comes
Just
with age.
live. Continue living for a while. You will know, you will learn this.
To be authentic, so just like
Be authentic to everyone, but transparent to the people you trust.
That's
And so, you see, just continue living. You will learn this by yourself. You know, the best teacher is the experience you'll never get. And so, it will teach you who to categorize well. It will give you discernment
Yes.
that this I put here. You see, judgment, knowing something beforehand and knowing where to place it is discernment.
Discernment is a gift.
And knowing, before knowing something and already place it is judgment. So those are two different things. So already you have the knowledge, you know where to put this person, you know where to put this person. And so that is how I've managed to even
Navigate.
navigate.
Mine, I think is intentional. Just be intentional. I really have friendships where it's not that it's smooth, but it's sometimes you're somewhere and the person just shows up for you, like they are intentional towards you and towards the things that you share, and even towards the person that you are in your growth as a whole. Intentionality in very many aspects. It is very diverse for me. Yeah, but just being intentional.
It ties up to one of my points, and it says, treat your friend with the same intentionality you treat your partner. This is for those who are in a relationship. So treat your friend with the same intentionality that you will treat your partner.
And even yourself.
And yeah.
You have to be intentional with yourself.
So you find that so many people are so intentional with their partners and not intentional with their friends, but their friends have been there for their partners.
Yeah.
And sometimes their partners, they
No,
find
even
out that their
friendships
partners
must
not
leave
the partner, yeah.
Yeah.
So treat them with the same intentionality. If it's going out, then be intentional.
Yeah.
Today I'm going out with Linda, no work. You say when you get a job, it's so easy to tell a friend that see, cancel out that date because work has just come up.
I said, even with the, even work might be acceptable because of money. Look at it.
No, it shouldn't be
relationships,
understandable.
Even relationships.
Yeah.
Look at like relationship. Some be like, I'm going out with my man. See you.
Yeah, so treat the same way you'll cancel your friendship date just to be with your friendship date just so that I can be a partner, then do the same with your friend. And the same way you do that for a job because jobs come and go.
Yeah, that's
Friendship will stay.
Partners come and
yeah.
Your partners might come and go. There are people in the dating phase.
No, but people you are dating, not all of them stay.
but amesema partner.
Dating in addition, you know, partner.
Amesema
In the
partners
dating
are
phase.
different from a person
Yeah.
you are dating.
Yeah. So it's the same way you'll cancel your friendship date to go to a work meeting. The same way I think when work comes, you should just say that I planned out to be with Linda today. I can't make it. Yeah.
So if God gives you a wise partner, so some kuna level of
Because the reason I'm saying that in our lives we are so quick to be like, my friend will understand. Yeah, it's
that's-
something just came up. My friend will
not nice.
understand.
Yes.
It's not nice. Yeah. So be intentional. This is my time. And that this is my time.
yes.
MJ, this is my time. We can yeah.
I think
Okay.
oh, sorry, what?
For me, it's about having grace. All you have. always have grace for the people in your friendship circle. Like I was saying, you see the same, what's it called? There's something I said about at times maybe your friend might be going through something that they don't understand or they don't know. Or you might be wondering why your friend has been or that.
Why is not calling?
Yeah, or why they're behaving a certain way. There might be things that are influencing them in that moment that they don't know or they don't understand or they don't know how to control. So you're just trying to give them space and understand, like just be more forgiving, like understand these are human, having a human experience and they're allowed to make mistakes and from them grow the same way I am. And also while having that grace for them, you must have grace for yourself. You must forgive yourself for things wrong, you might have said wrong. You see the way you always want to forgive all your friends, start with yourself. You can't be forgiving people left, right, and center and yourself. You're still holding on to things that hurt you to tumble. You're still mad at yourself for things. You can only have grace for other people when you have grace for yourself.
Yeah.
You can't call from an empty cup.
I mean like that. Sometimes when friends
Let's go.
Shandy gets applause first. So, when our friend probably goes out of the way and they're in the deepest moment, people are so quick to be like, I told you so, man.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Or you.
It is good to accord them the same way. So, they always say do not kick a man in his down.
Yeah.
So probably just be there that the ministry of presence, be with him there. When he has done something shameless.
You can slap them, but you're
When
with
they're
them.
down.
Snatch them from the fire.
It's not slapping them here, Kwanza.
Snatch them from the fire.
Yeah.
From the fire when they haven't got into the fire. That's your role as a friend also, to be real with them. This thing is wrong and wrong.
Yeah.
And then when they
they
finally made that mistake, then it's not like I told you so. You see,
Correct
you made a
enough.
worthless really.
Yeah.
Just I prefer you be with them there. You help them get out of the shame. Then you tell them, you reflect back when I told you this will happen and that. Now.
However, while you're doing that, you have to be safe enough. Yeah, you need to, I don't know how to put it. You see that those people you might end up dragging and they drag you down
Yeah.
where they are.
Yeah.
You have to be careful not to.
But also it's good to see that you can only pull a man out of a hole when you're outside the hole.
Yes.
So
And
you
also
say
when
safe.
the man is also ready.
Yes.
Because when you pulling somebody who is not ready to be pulled.
But then, so that means have grace. They can wallow there, but you can
Yeah.
find
Yeah,
other ways
just-
to
yeah.
help.
So you wallow for a while, but
Yes.
not for long.
Yes.
Yeah, not for long. Because you can wallow and then end up going to that
And
deep.
you already be swallowed. Wise man.
Eugene, I wanted to ask something. As we were describing this, are we talking of, because I was noting down, are we talking of maintaining friends or finding friends?
No, we are navigating the
Navigating
friendships we have.
And then it is
So
good
we
to
are
be
talking about-
open-minded because friendship,
So, you see
you
when you
make new
Yes.
friends with age.
No, my issue is when you say maintaining, it's like something you need. You come on, this house, you need to maintain. Come on, die.
But then it's
It is
true.
still bad.
I get
True.
it.
Their friendship must be maintained.
Yeah.
Yes.
I get it.
Intentionality.
Yes.
So,
So all this we're doing,
You
we
can
are
still
maintaining,
yeah.
but also
but
navigating.
yeah,
Yeah.
and making also new friends along the
Making,
way.
yes.
That's
Making
So you give your
So-
tips.
So, making new, so
It's
if we talk
general.
about this thing, are we talking of it both ways?
All
or
of
All
them.
of them.
All the three.
Yeah, that's why I have to, the aspect education. It's
No, it
very
makes
important
sense.
for-
Yeah.
And also on education, I think that's something. You are educating yourself about everything else around you.
Yes.
The other thing is, in this modern day, you need to educate yourself about the people you want to be your friends. You get it? Like, understand the people as a person, like, understand that person visually.
But first, you understand yourself.
Yeah.
You're a good man.
I get it. So, educate yourself. How you navigating friendships?
Yeah.
Educate yourself about that person here.
because it will be a foolish thing when Nike puts a billboard in Manyata Chiro.
Yes.
Sindio. So if I want to attract certain people, then I also have to attract. I have to teach myself to be that person that I want to attract.
What's interesting? So in Nairobi, I say along Thika Road, but not past Thika Road. It can of course it's Githurai. Kuna billboard. Yeah, sorry guys, for using this example. This is a county,
Yeah.
Is that cheap liquor?
Yeah.
And then I work in Kilimani. The first
Sells money. Money babes.
The first billboard you make is for like let me feed. I work in the hotel industry, so these are like way different in terms of class. So it just speaks to what you're saying, like you can't advertise some things in some places. So it's about marketing. Marketing also has a thing about landing your niche market.
Yeah. Amazing. Back to each other.
Still on the same points.
A different thing you plant.
Yeah, for
Probably
navigating.
navigating.
In terms of navigating, there's something that we talked about that came up that even Jesus did it before. And if you change, remember sometimes there are some things in aspect of your life that certainly personal, you change. Now, you must look for the same change that you want. So I don't know how to ascribe whether it is the same as being true to yourself, because there's something that we talked about earlier. Being in certain places, you are able to change other people because you went through a similar experience. So that is one thing that I'm looking at in terms of friendship. I don't know whether it falls in any kind of way.
We get you. I think, when you're born again, I think it's like somebody is on the table, you're on the table, and then there's probably your other life is down below there. And you are trying to like really pull them. They're the ones who are easy to pull you down. So you'd rather look at people who are on top of this table first before you even be able to go reach down there for them.
True.
So I have a question.
It's the same thing you said. It's the same thing.
How many people have, you already said, how many people have unsaved friends?
Unsaved friends.
Yes.
You don't have.
As me, I'm not asking the question. So it just means there is no limit to friendship.
Yeah.
I manage it.
Finally, you're back to our point, original point.
Welcome back, brother. Welcome back.
It is not. I'm even so there is no limit to friendship. There is no black and white.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So life is not black and white. There is no black and white when it comes to friendship.
Yes.
And so you can't say that you are only friends to people who are saved. That then you'll be alive.
Yes.
To your team friend. So
But it's also beautiful to put
and so
picket fence.
To let them know.
Boundaries.
Let them know this is my boundary. I'm going to go this far. So when you're organizing a bash, I'm not in because you're going to drink, you're going to practice this. Things that are not.
they will not invite
But you see,
you.
because we already know.
When boundaries are defined, then it's really easy to work through such friendship because this guy is saved, I'm not saved. So this is our shared interest. Yes, we are apart. Yes, we are shared.
But
that then closes.
it doesn't make you, if I'm that friend of the world, I will not stop telling you that I'm going for a bash just because I want you're saved.
Yeah, but
I'll just say, hey, Eugene, let's sit in a bash.
Also, we are going to be surprised telling you about our Kesha.
Yeah. Isifike ati mimi kwa sababu naona kama huyu ni born again, nikimwambia mambo ya nini ya bashi yangu utanijaji. Because you feel like nikimwambia mambo ya bashi ataona naenda kukunywa pombe. Ataanza kuniambia naenda kwa shetani. Something like that. You will try to avoid me, I will try to usianze kuleta that idea ati I will try to avoid the other person.
Yeah, not
I
avoiding.
live free with you because you are my friend.
Yeah, but
I
when
think
you have where
I think you eventually go separate because you realize
But you see, the thing is,
Maybe.
but you
one
see, the
person
thing
will,
is,
But
you
the
know,
thing
first
is-
of all,
it's not assured that you go your separate ways.
there, that
Because
is what I want.
the thing
One
is,
person may join the other.
you see the moment we are good friends to each other, I might be influenced to be saved with you.
Yes.
But also the opposite
You
is
can
true.
also
Yeah.
tell
Yeah.
another
So that's what I'm
person.
saying. The opposite is true. That's why it's also good to surround yourself a lot more
Stronger.
with the stronger ones. These ones need to encourage. You're not casting them aside, but you're not also being fully indulgent.
So the reason why I was saying black and white in the sense that kama mimi ni wa dhati sitakuambia, I will tell you. Yeah, kwa sababu ukisema ati it's supposed to be like ati grayish, sasa that means I'm like whatever I want to tell you specific na avoid.
No, what I just meant,
That's
clear
not
boundaries.
fine.
I know that you're going for a bash.
Supportive person.
I know that you're going for a bash, but you definitely know that I won't come because I have certain beliefs.
Yes.
And
So that's a boundary,
yeah,
right?
that's a boundary. It's a clear boundary. Unajuanga tu nikiita Freddy bash come, so I'll not invite him because he's a church goer.
You're judging now.
It's a lie.
Freddy, is there something that you don't know? Yeah, so just letting the boundary be clear, because if you're not clear, then there's this temptation and now probably come with me in the house, strength to facing out that, and you feel uncomfortable, and then you
But just know that the same way an iron sharpens an iron.
a man.
When you are,
a man
yes,
sharpens a man.
and so when you are together, you are affecting each other's life. That is the truth. And so, and unajua, it does not matter if somebody is in the world, they are doomed for the world, you know.
Yeah.
And so,
Because you are once there.
yes, so it does not make you to, those boundaries are imaginary boundaries
Yeah.
that you draw, knowing that sasa siku yenye wewe amekuja, now maybe interest ita change because ama siku yenye wewe, let me not speak about that. And so when this other person crosses the boundary akuje hii side yako, now maybe it becomes weird. And so ndo tusiweke final boundaries that kama huyu ako unsafe, huyu mimi niko safe, hakuna kupita hapa. And so sometimes you might want to come to church. Will you refuse for them? But when anajua obvious, hautakuja kwa bash. And so as you draw the boundaries of friendships, jua these are temporary boundaries. They are not, especially for you who are safe.
Yeah.
Yes. But how unajua kitu mzuri is that if you have a person who is not a born again as a friend, they know your life, and your lives are always influence them more than they influence you. Yes. Because only a magnet can attract hizo chuma. Yes, kama sio magnet haizi attract chuma. And that is just my point.
So it has to be really fun.
Yes, so you have to know yourself. Yes.
So for me, I'll go also with communication.
Self-explanatory.
Communication in the sense that you be honest really about things. I'm learning right now to just be able to reach out and just say what I think and ask also the other person what they think, so that I do not walk with maybe a version or something about somebody. I'm learning to just be clear about information about people. Sitaki nitembee nikijua Kenya nimesikia hivi na hivi, but I haven't asked them what really is it really true, you know. And then I want to tell them, Mimi, I think if a certain situation crops up, I'm like, hey, hapana fikiria hapana, you know, like just being open with how I work with the friends, and even the friends I'll be able to make.
Because from there, if that brings us to the point of somebody not able to tell you something because of maybe there's that one thing that you can, how will I learn? because when we are growing into friendship, you become more open, you know. You become more open to reveal things. But if you are always shut, the other party is shut. Now you are a place you have to learn about this person. You know, it is now not making sense. It means this other guy, anataka tu, I learn everything from you, yet not giving out. And so it goes both ways. Yeah. The communication and the process.
That's a point. You are now understanding each other. Because you understand your nisipo understand hiyo huwezi kuonyesha sasa
So my next point is quite important or quite forgotten in this society, because when you think about toxicity, we think about other people, but sometimes toxicity comes from us. We need to be able to understand that sometimes you have the toxic friends and we need to work on ourselves, because when a relationship does not work, we always think this is something they did wrong, this is wrong, you are quick to blame it to the other party than, yeah, so sometimes you need to understand that toxicity comes from us, and if we do not address it, then it keeps on affecting other friends that you have in future. You keep on having friends, friends kosana. Yeah.
Mine, I think I have so many things that have escaped my mind. But one thing is so obvious that you cannot give what you don't have. You cannot give what you don't have. You have to be friendly to be friend. Let that say now. You have to be friendly to be friend.
But Chembe wasn't friendly at first when you met her?
No, I'm saying for a person, if you want to have friends, if you want to navigate and to start one friend. And so you have to first be friendly. I knew Chambi long time even before she knew me. But I was always friendly to her. That is why I think we have become friends. No, the way I used to view her, I thought that she was not friendly. Okay. She had a reign and that. And so I extended the friendly. I took the initiative. You have to be friendly.
Yeah. Somebody has to take an initiative.
Yes.
Yeah. Because if you are not all,
so
then it will never happen.
No man is yeah. And so I am against this. Let me just speak this. I think maybe it can be out. So many people have made the social media their friends, and so they expose the most intimate things that they're supposed to take to their safe space. They expose them to. You make that which is private, you make it public. And then you come and complain. You know, I don't understand why somebody would go and write in their post, in WhatsApp about everything about they are going through now. They write a full paragraph, and then people just peruse and pass. Especially me, I don't like reading, so I just always pass. When I see a long post, I just move to the next one. Next. And so you have taken, that is why many people in this generation, they are not understanding friendships, because they are not having friendship, because they have made the social sites their friends, where they can discuss intimate things. Ukikosana na mtu share status, you know. And let me tell you guys, when you post those status, you'll be saying their names, but I will know that this is something you are going through in your life.
Yeah.
And that is how deep it is. And you can only lie to yourself. You can't lie to yourself. Yeah. So let us, as we continue living, let us have redefined friendship. Let us help each other in moving. Maybe you have been hurt so much that you no longer see the essence of having friends. Or maybe the people around you, you just call them fake friends. and you have to motivate those New Year resolution. This year, no more fake friends, and yet you still remain alone. And so God created us in a way that there's a point that your mind and your heart reaches that you have to pour out into somebody. If you don't pour into somebody, that is why you find yourself pouring them into the social media. And so that is why God, you can't say you are a friend to God, you tell him everything, but that is why he's not around you. That is why he created people around you so that you can relate together with them. That is just basically what I would say.
But on the other hand, there's people who like really long posts, like read, and I will shorten them.
But you shorten them, you don't write long messages when you're mad.
Oh, when you're mad, yeah.
But there's this thing in social media. Somebody once said that social media was created to unite us, and it ended up separating us. Think about it. Like, we now prefer not meeting in social, but to be in our house and we are like, oh, not one and your friends.
It's the emojis for me.
Yeah.
The laughter emojis, and right now I'm laughing on chest,
Yeah.
but physically.
It's fun, yes. And especially you see, you know the thing. If you have like 20 or let's say 100 friends in Facebook, maybe you think those are friends. You know,
Yeah.
that is different. You know, in different generation. You know, to the millennials. If you tell me that if you ask a Gen Z, how many friends do you have? You'll be like, let me go to my social media. But those are not
1,000 people give my status.
Yes.
Those are viewers.
Ama yuko na state yes, kuna lot of numbers kwa simu. Unaweza watch status za watu wakikesho. And but they are not your friends, and so that is just basically what is there.
You know, those who was scared number than us. So they number on down status.
Yeah, but
Have you ever just together like anyway, mine was interest in growth of friends. Like to be interested in. I'd love to I know it's all of us would love to meet our friends, and maybe in the next 5 years, if they were running a business or if they were working, you would love to see them growing. Or if they got saved, you would love to see them like standing more on the word family. Yeah, or if they began working out. Oh my God. They began working out. Gina is always like, you'd love to like keeping up with the journey, having interest like in their growth personally, financially, even in you as friends. I bet you wouldn't like to remain in the place where you began as friends. So just interested.
And also, if all of you are in the same place, something is wrong. If all of you are in the same place you guys met, there's something wrong. Right? Because you need to grow, even if it's emotionally, even if it's mentally, like there's some sort of growth.
Physical.
Yes.
Something has to change.
Yes. Yeah. It can't be you two became friends and your life just remains stagnant.
Oh yeah.
As for me, you have to be a keeper of people's secrets.
In other words, what she's saying, somebody is able to confide.
So you need, yes. You see, the thing is, you might be able to confide in me, but am I keeping your confidentiality?
A question. Just a question.
Because when I'm creating a safe space for you, that means you feel safe enough to talk to me.
Yes.
But you wouldn't know, I might be using you as podcast material.
Yes.
Yeah, dumping up on you.
Well,
It's also toxic.
no, I'm saying I'm having a podcast, now I'm coming back. Yeah?
So,
Example.
let me ask a question, because what's the threshold to that? Because you might confide in me and I'm like, this babe need help. And I know somebody who can help them.
That's a very different thing, because I might not be able to solve everything that you're going through. You know, at times, not everything you share with me is a problem. At times, it's just the things that I'm not understanding well, I need a different perspective. At times, there are things that I'm just letting you know my innermost thoughts.
Yeah.
But also now, let's say I realize, let's say you might be being abused by your girlfriend. If you let me know that, I will seek help.
Yeah.
That does not mean that. Yes, that does not mean I'm going to tell your friends. By then, I'm gonna you get the difference. There's a difference.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if a friend needs that, then please help.
Yes.
In wisdom.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Because somebody may come to you and say, it's not going as a trust. I feel like I want to commit suicide, and then you're like, so I'm supposed to keep this a secret. And sometimes they need immediate help. So
No, but you see, you can help them
You
without
can.
them feeling like you are broadcasting.
yeah,
That's
what I'm saying. Help in wisdom. There's some people that you feel like this person can't help you come out.
On a professional matter,
Yeah, professional.
such kind of thing. That's different.
So allow me to cut it there. We can talk for hours. We started at 4 and now it's 6, 7, heading to 7. Wait,
10 minutes to
time in a fly. So allow me to end this up by this amazing verse. You remember Corinthians chapter 13 verse 4.
2 Corinthians.
First Corinthians. Now love is. So let us replace that with friendship. Now friendship is patient. Friendship is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It's not proud. It is not rude. It is not self-speaking. It is not easily angered. It does not keep records of wrong. Friendship does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hope, always perseveres.
In friendship, we still love. So love us.
Yeah.
You can interuse them interchangeably.
And that's how we end the Realtime podcast. It's a wrap from my end. Have a good time.
It's a
See you in the next one.
And Chiambe is friendly.
Leave
And
love
Chiambe is
and
friendly.
love.
Just so they know.
Just so they know the word. Chiambe is friendly.
Leave love.
Again,
Are you not serious?
He was.
Babe, I was not serious.
And
You're
it's
the
a
love
wrap.
of my life.
Kata tuendelee na podcast sasa behind the podcast.
Cameraman. Thank you.